All right, Ape family. Sit down, put your seatbelt on, because this is going to be a good video. Tonight, I want to talk about the Voltron Fund. Now, as I shared in my other video, the Voltron Fund is nicknamed, Thomas James gave a group of investors a fund, if you will, that was above Citadel. And actually, Citadel got their marching orders from the Voltron Fund. They told Citadel what to do, just like Citadel tells the other people what to do. In other words, the Voltron Fund is who's pulling the strings with Citadel. Now, he's right. Thomas James is right, and I'm going to prove it. AMC, GME, dozen other meme stocks, they operating on a pattern. We understand that the algorithmic trading program, somebody flipped a switch and this pattern started running. The purpose of the pattern was to bring about the rip-ups. Once the rip happens, the pattern starts over, and then when it comes to an end, it rips higher. And then it comes to an end and it rips higher. The purpose of the pattern is to incrementally increase until the MOAS. Then okay, we see there's a pattern. We can understand by looking at the patterns, the way it plays out, the purpose is to bring about the MOAS. Then the next question you would have to ask is, who flipped that switch on? Who flipped that switch and started this program from doing what it's doing, rips, and then do what it's doing and rips again till eventually, right now, because the pattern's been broken, by the way, I'm going to explain that in the next video. But right now, the purpose is the MOAS. But why? Why would somebody want to bankrupt all these hedge funds? Because that's the ultimate purpose. If this pattern is doing what it's doing and we can follow it all the way to the MOAS, then the purpose is the fucking MOAS. And you have to ask yourself, why? It's to bankrupt all these funds. That's the purpose that this pattern has led up to. Now, what does that mean? Here we go. Get ready, put your seatbelts on. With all these new regulations that are in play, and AMC's ready to rip, and GME's ready to rip, and a couple other ones, they've set things in place like they can have up to 30-day halts. They can get margin called at any time during the day instead of in the evenings. They can get called early in the mornings or whatever, however that new one went. But the best one that I remember that passed, that shows you the Voltron Fund and how this pattern is working, and the purpose of it is this. Once the MOAS starts, these funds will run out of money. Then they will have to turn their shares that they hold over to the government in a special clearinghouse set up just for this. Now, y'all know that. Everybody knows that they've set up a new government pawn shop where the fund can turn over its shares and the government will give them the money to bail them out. But they have to turn over the shares. And then each hedge fund falls and they run out of capital. They have to turn over their shares to the government clearinghouse. They hold it and give them the money. And when they get the money, they can have their shares back. Everybody knows this. But watch this. Voltron Fund, Citadel, SEC. Why do you think the SEC, why do you think Gary Gensler has never stepped in? Everybody wants to sue and sign petitions, but listen to me. He couldn't step in. He can't step in. Why? Because they need the hedge funds and the brokers and Citadel and everybody to get as deep in the hole as they possibly can. Why? Because every naked short sale they sell is another share they're going to have to turn over to the government to get bailout money for that share. So, what does it all mean? That in the end, when the squeeze is over, the United States government is going to be the largest shareholders in all the companies throughout America. They're going to have to turn over their Microsoft over to the clearinghouse. They're going to have to turn over their Apple, the government. When are we started this? We started tracking it in January. What else happened in January? We had an inauguration. We had the Capitol riots. And somebody flipped this fucking switch on, and this program started trading to bring about the MOAS so that they would have to turn their shares over to the government. And now the government is going to be the single holder of every fucking share of every company in America. That's the purpose. The purpose is to get the shares away from the brokerages and get them over here into one section in a clearinghouse that the government has set up. So there you go. There's your Voltron fund. It's the government. The government has set this up to MOAS to get their shares to put it into their clearinghouse. It gets even deeper. But if you can follow the white rabbit this far and just understand, yes, there's going to be a MOAS. Yes, you're going to get paid, but there's going to also be a price to pay. Just saying. In the end, when the MOAS is over, when I've been paid and you've been paid and everybody's been paid, the hedge funds are busted. They're gone. Just like Lou said, they're vanquished. And the U.S. government now has control of Apple. They have control of Microsoft. They have control of Walmart. They have control of Target. They have control of every public traded stock that them hedge funds owned now are in the clearinghouse. Just saying. But it does. It gets a little bit deeper than that. But just know that this line is doing what it's supposed to do to bring about the MOAS. So you're going to be very rich. But the government is also going to have every share. Talk to y'all later.